The escalating investigations into former President Donald Trump and the role he played trying to overturn the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. It has become clear in the last 24 hours that the U.S. Department of Justice is now investigating the former president's actions leading to the January 6th Capitol riot last year, and whether he was leading a conspiracy to defraud the voters of Joe Biden's legitimate presidential election win. News of the DOJ investigation was first reported by The Washington Post, but in many ways, the newspaper is just putting some recent jigsaw pieces together. Prosecutors over the last few days have questioned witnesses before a grand jury, including two senior aides to then Vice President Mike Pence. They've been questioned regarding conversations they had with Trump, his lawyers and members of his inner circle, who were part of a scheme to send fake electors to Washington to participate in the Electoral College meeting on January the 6th, at which Joe Biden's victory was due to be certified. Back in 2020, many of Trump's allies planned to install fake electors in states that Joe Biden won, in the hope that they would travel to Washington on January the 6th and pressure the vice president to overturn the election that day in Congress. The Washington Post reports that the DOJ has received phone records of several of Trump's senior aides, including Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. The records were received back in April, before the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection held its first public televised hearing. Separately, while speaking to a U.S. broadcaster, Attorney General Merrick Garland said his Department of Justice will hold accountable anyone who was criminally responsible for attempting to interfere with the lawful transfer of power from one presidential administration to the next. Up until now, over 850 people have been arrested across the U.S. in connection with the January 6th Capitol riots. And so we go to WION's correspondent in the US, Susan Tehrani, who joins us live from New York City. Susan, it does now seem evident that the Department of Justice is putting together an investigation that is picking up steam and is now targeting former President Donald Trump personally.
Yeah, it definitely appears that way, but for the record, there's no evidence that Trump himself, as of now, is an investigation target. However, with everything that you mentioned and everything that we've been seeing, at least in the last couple of days, prosecutors asking questions related to him and really gathering these evidence from his personal aides, all lead up to something like that. And something very noteworthy is the fact that Mark Short, former Vice President Mike Pence's Chief of Staff, appeared Friday before a federal grand jury investigating the January 6th attack. He is, as of now, the highest Trump administration official to appear before a federal grand jury at this point, and he mentioned in an interview that he doesn't see any other reason other than this investigation really moving forward. First of all, with the Justice Department, and second of all, experts say, really targeting Donald Trump personally, himself perhaps in the near future. However, one thing is very noteworthy. Investigation is one thing, but again, no former U.S. president in America's history has ever been charged or prosecuted.
And Merrick Garland has indicated to Department of Justice staff within the last few weeks that he's not sure that criminal charges can be brought against a candidate in the race for the presidency. So how might all of this impact Donald Trump's decision, perhaps early, to declare himself a candidate for the 2024 election? He came perilously close in a speech here in Washington only yesterday.
Yeah, and aides close to him say that he's actually very adamant in making that announcement as early as this fall, perhaps even before the midterms. Whether or not he will use this investigation as a launching pad is yet to be seen, because one thing is true regarding Donald Trump's base, and we really saw this yesterday after his speech. Negative news about Donald Trump really fires up his base. Him being the underdog and the victim in issues like investigations like this really puts him at an advantage, for better or worse. So, there's a possibility that he will make that candidacy announcement, but others say that aides close to him say that it's better for him to play kingmaker during the midterms and make that announcement later. But it's an interesting dynamic, and we'll wait and see what happens.